responsibility. Progress can only be achieved if we are ever ready to change ourselves. My opinion is of no importance. The only thing of importance is the academia. We shall change it with teamwork. Working in this solutions group is all about teamwork. Long live this solutions group. Long live Kaizen. Our mission is to help clients enhance their business competitiveness by providing best practice tools in a cost-effective and eco-friendly manner. Our mission is to be the manufacturer of Indian products, consultancy, and project management company in East Africa. Our core values are passion, integrity, excellence, and Kaizen.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Can we have a bigger voice, please, so that I can see there is energy in this room? Morning.
Morning.
That's good. Very good. Okay, now let's start our session of Gemba Kaizen. All right. Now, whenever we start, there are some rules which we follow. Okay, if it's a 5 days workshop, what we do, make sure that everybody sticks to their time. Yeah, and that goes across all about our journey throughout. So we want to keep our time punctuality, that's the essence, because that's what Kaizen is all about. Okay? So all our meetings, everything should start on time and of course finish on time. Now, when we start session, we are going to start with a very important concept called paradigm. Okay? And this concept was developed by Thomas Kuhn, a German philosopher. And he wrote a very interesting book called Paradigm. In that he developed a concept called paradigm shift. This concept was also very well told by Stephen Covey in his book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now in this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, when Stephen Covey talks about paradigm shift, he has given a story. And story is very, very interesting. The story goes like this. It's in New York City, time is around 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. This being a Sunday morning, the whole atmosphere in that local train is very quiet. People were dozing. It was a very quiet morning, very few people in the compartment. So it was a very lazy atmosphere. Some people were reading newspapers, some people were dozing like that. At one particular station, a family of 3 children and father arrive in. And as soon as they arrive in, the whole atmosphere changes dramatically. You know, these children start throwing newspapers, shouting, screaming. All the other passengers, they really get disturbed. And they start looking at this, what kind of family is this? These people are not, even the father is not able to control the children. At one time, it becomes so chaotic. One of the passengers, he really got fed up and he got up from his chair and he goes to the father and said, "Excuse me, I believe these are your children." And he said, "Yes." He said, "Don't you think that they all are disturbing us?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "Don't you think that you should ask them to behave?" And he says, "Yes, I'm thinking about it." He said, "What do you mean by thinking about it? Ask them to behave, they are disturbing us." He keeps quiet and he says, "Yes, I do know, but what has happened? The mother of these 3 children died in the hospital a few minutes ago, and we have come from the hospital. I don't know how to break this news to them." And the moment this is told, everybody gets stunned and they say, "Oh," even the person gets embarrassed and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was not aware. Is there a way I can assist you?" He said, No, it's fine." Now look at this situation. A few minutes ago, how people were looking at the children. Yeah, they're unruly, they don't know, they don't have manners, they are doing like this, like that. But the moment you tell this death of the mother, how people look at them? With sympathy, with sorrow, isn't it? Now what has changed? Nothing has changed. It's the same train, same children, same everything. What has changed? The way you look at it. And that is what is paradigm shift. When we talk about paradigm shift, everything is going to remain the same. Same employees, same staff, same company, same products, everything is going to remain the same. What is going to change in Kaizen is the way you look at it. And that is what is called as a paradigm shift. It is an extremely important concept of paradigm shift, which we will be using quite often in our day-to-day routine whenever we implement the Kaizen, and that is the reason we cannot move away from that concept. So everyone should know about this concept of paradigm shift. Another important concept is called as a Gemba. It's a Japanese word. What is Gemba? Game or Jame means real and Ba means place. Gemba means a real place where the real activity takes place. That is what is Gemba Kaizen. Gemba is real place. Say for example, people who are working in the office, what is their Gemba? Office. People who are in sales department, what is their Gemba? Field. That's it. Isn't it? So that is what the Gemba is. And Kaizen. What is Kaizen? Again, it's a Japanese word because it's called as a continual. Kai means continual and Zen means improvement. It's a continual improvement at the place of work. That is what is Gemba Kaizen. Have you understood? Yeah. So when we talk about Kaizen, when we talk about Gemba Kaizen, we talk about continual improvement. It is also called as a step-by-step improvement. Now, if you see our logo is like this. This is a step-by-step improvement, isn't it? Our logo of Lean Solutions Group or Lean Energy Solutions, you will find this is the step-by-step improvement. It's a Kaizen way of learning. And that's what is our focus. Whole organization has to focus on Kaizen because this is one of the core values, isn't it? So this step-by-step improvement or Kaizen is what is called as the continual improvement, and that is what the meaning of Kaizen is. Now, I'm going to give you some of the simple examples. What is this? 6, isn't it? Can you add 1 to make it 7? Yeah? Can you go? Is it 7? Yes. So can we clap for her? Okay. Now, can you add a line and make it 6? You can use your pen and paper and think. Can you add a line and make it 6? Possible? Can somebody add a line to make it 6? Yes? Yes, Peter.
Straight.
Yeah? Is it 6? Yeah? Can we clap for him? So what is this? Is it line? Yeah. See, line doesn't mean that it has to be straight. Who has told you? It's a paradigm, isn't it? This is the moment we say line, we have been taught for so many years, line is straight line, and we still think that that's what is paradigm. And our thing, what I did when I ask a question, can you add 1 line to make it 7, and she does it, so I have fixed this paradigm, isn't it? So what did I create? I made the mind fix so that everyone starts looking in that direction. Line means straight line, straight line, straight line. And that's what exactly is the problem in the organization. Whenever there is a problem, what do? We have got set way of working and thinking. That is how it should be solved. We don't think out of box. And that's what the problem is. Okay? So that is the reason when we talk about paradigm shift, this is what all about. So like when we say 6 here or here, we want to make 6 and we add a line, it's a curved line. Actually, the definition of line is a set of points. It can be curved, it can be zigzag, it can be anything. All right? Good. Are you okay with this? All right. For now, based on that, shall we do some other exercise? Now tell me, what is half of 8? 4. Good. What else? Now you know how to shift the paradigm, yeah? S. Yes. Half of 8 is S. Yes. Then 0. Cut. Correct. What else? Huh? 3. Yes. 3. Yes. Hartej? He takes what? E. Yeah, yeah, E. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. What else? I say half of 8 is 8. Can you shift the paradigm and say how half of 8 is 8? Is it right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, tell me why. How?
If 8 is like a block and then you cut it into half, it's still 8.
Correct. It's a three-dimensional 8 is there and you cut it into half, you still get 8, isn't it? Yeah, that's brilliant. What else? Okay, there is another way of looking at it. Half of 8 is 8. Still one more solution. What else? Anyway, think about it. Think about different solutions of this. All right? Now, what we are going to do, a simple exercise which we are going to do, and is one of the best exercises which has been given by one institute, and they ask you to write as many uses of as possible for the paper clip. Have you seen the paper clip which we use it for holding the papers, isn't it? Paper clip, correct? So now once you have understood what is the paradigm shift, you have to write as many uses as possible, and I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. Okay, you have to do in 5 minutes as many uses as possible. Now, for example, I'm just telling you, you can write paper clip for holding the paper, one use. Second is that I can open that and I can start using for cleaning my teeth. Isn't it? Is the use, yeah. So now I've just open the ideas, this thing. So write as many uses as possible for paper clip. All right? Your time starts now. Sorry? Yeah. Write as many as possible. Don't think right, wrong. Just any use and capture that. We want you to write maybe 30, 40 uses. idea is to write many uses, as many as possible by thinking out of box. Okay. Okay, 2 more minutes, 1.5 to be precise, 3 seconds. All right, good. So I just want to know how many uses everybody has written. I just want to know about that. Okay, can we start from Mata? Tell me, how many uses have you written? Count. 12. Very good. All right. Next. 6. Next. Sorry? 7. 10. 7. 11. 7. 8. 13. 10. 9. 6. 11. 10. 11. 8. 6. 5. 8. 9. 12. 14. 10. 8. Yeah? John? 9. Oh, you finished all of it? Oh, okay. Very good. All right, fine. So, who is the highest? 14. Good. Who is 14? Can we clap for her? Okay, so let's okay, tell us what are the uses you are eating, yeah.
Hair tie.
Hair tying, yeah.
Earrings.
Earrings,
Tie clothes.
tie
Use it
clothes,
as a safety pin.
yeah.
Use it as a paperweight. Bookmark.
Bookmark,
Poke a hole. Use it as a SIM card pin.
okay.
Draw a line.
Draw a line,
Zip tie.
zip tie. Okay, now another you can just contribute, yes. Whatever is not covered, you tell me, yeah. Bracelets,
Weapon,
yeah.
fork,
Fork, decorative pieces, shoelace, key, yeah. Kitchen,
car wiper machine.
huh?
In the car wiper machine.
Car wiper machine, okay.
Poke a hole. Decorative clothes.
Decorative clothes, uh-huh. Tissue, fish,
Fish hook.
fish hook, okay.
Lock opener.
Opener,
cleaning the teeth,
cleaning teeth, yeah.
Chain.
Separation of documents, chain,
earrings, bracelet pieces,
Jewelry,
bracelet,
Pots. You can
yeah, a lot of ornaments.
pots. Poke a hole.
poke a hole, yeah, we have taken,
Toy,
toy,
Stamp.
stamp, yes,
marble,
huh?
as a marble.
Marble to play.
Draw a circle.
Circle. What else?
Cleaning a phone.
Huh?
Cleaning a phone.
Okay, cleaning a comb. Uh-huh.
These are
Comb, yeah.
Key holder.
Key holder, keychain we have written, yes. Anything which is not captured here and you have written? Huh? Tight lip, okay. Comb, okay. What else? Yes?
It can be used to open a lock.
Lock. Padlock you can open. Car lock. Then? Huh? Needle, yeah, okay. Good. Anyway, I think we'll go on up to maybe 40. Yeah. Now, okay. Now let's see if we write it individually. There is 12, 6, 7, 10, 8, 13, 9, 6, 11, 5, 4, isn't it? So what is the, how many average number of uses we have written? 6 or 7, isn't it? Average is 7, correct? How many when you work as a team, how much you are getting up to? 40. Isn't it? See, when you work as an individual, what happens? Your results are you get 7. Isn't it? Average. But when you work as a team, you get 40, which is what? 5 or 6 times. It means that your efficiency doesn't increase by 10%, 20%, 40%. No. It is 6 times, 5 times, means 500%, 600%. Isn't it? And that is the beauty of Kaizen. So when you work as a team, see any problem comes, generally what we do, we get overwhelmed. We want to solve, as an individual, we want to solve the problem. But when you work as a group, in a group of people, and then we come up with the solution, you will find that your efficiency will go up by 500 to 600%. And that's the beauty of Kaizen. So whenever we want to work in Kaizen, we work in a group. Is that fine? Okay, group not necessarily of department, it can be any number of people. As long as different brains are there, your efficiency, your ability to solve the problem goes up by 5 to 6 times, and that is what we want to make use of. So what are the 2 principles which we are going to use in Kaizen? One is paradigm shift, isn't it? Think out of box. Other is teamwork. So, good. Now, if you see Japanese prowess, especially, see Japan is a very tiny company, isn't it, compared to America or other China. If you see the size of those countries and if you see the Japanese prowess, you will find there are amazing things which has happened. The first camera was invented by Carl Zeiss, isn't it? He's a German guy. But most of the cameras, if you see, of course, now camera has become outdated, but still, camera, you will see most of them are Japanese, isn't it? First automobile, who did it? American, Henry Ford. But most of the cars currently you see the market captured by Japanese, isn't it? First banking was British, but 7 out of 10 big banks in the world are Japanese. Second largest, now it is the third largest economy after America and China is Japan. Now if you see what is the root cause is the Kaizen principle, is the Kaizen culture, which is the cause of their huge success in manufacturing industry in all the industries. Okay. Can you see this picture? Yeah? What is it? Cart. Yes. Square wheel carts. What else do you see? Sorry? Car has got tires. Okay. Where are those?
They're carrying tires.
They are carrying tires. Oh, okay. Good. Carrying the wheels and these are the. Oh, what else is there?
Misplaced thing of this thing. The tires had to come down and this had to go on top.
Yes.
That's a struggle.
Then somebody is pulling and somebody is pushing. Yeah. Good. Have you seen this cart? Anywhere? No? Round wheel. No, this type of car. Have you seen it? No? Mukuteni? No? Like this, with square wheels and somebody pushing and this kind of situation? No? Have you seen? No? I have seen it. Many times. Where? CBD. Square wheels.
Not square wheel.
Huh.
This kind of.
No, not. I'm talking about the square wheels, the cart with the square wheels. No? No. I have seen it in Nairobi many times.
Yeah, I think right now. Yeah.
Here. No, not here. Not here. But I can see, I have seen it many times. In Nairobi, where do we? Office Park, 4th floor. See, this situation means what? You have got a square wheel, somebody is pushing, other is pulling, isn't it? This is what exactly happens when your day-to-day routine work. This is what we do. We are, it's a common sense that we feel that how can you have square wheels, they should be here and this should be here. But we are so busy in our routine work, we don't want to see. We just want to work very hard. You know, somebody is pushing, other is pulling. If the solution is not there, keep on fighting, keep on struggling, isn't it? That's what the situation is. Now, what we do in Kaizen is that what is the solutions to the card problem is the look for the solution. Kaizen is the process of identifying square wheels in the organization and replacing them with the round wheels. Okay, and the most important thing is that we have got round wheels in our organization which we need to identify. Whenever there is a problem, you know, our audit is not taking place on time. What do? We keep postponing, isn't it? But the solution is within the organization, but we don't have time. We don't want to work with a team. We are too busy. I don't want to speak with the other person. We don't want to take a departmental meeting. We don't want to come up with the solution. So what do? We work in isolation and we don't want to find the solution, and as a result of which we get more stress. So in Kaizen, we all work in groups. Now, there is a famous story. You know, there was one person who was cutting his wood, you know, and he was very hardworking, extremely hardworking. 6 o'clock in the morning, he will start his work, not even quickly take a breakfast for 5-10 minutes, again start cutting the wood, you know, with his saw. Lunch he will skip, and somebody will say, why do you want to skip the lunch? He said, no, there are so many wooden logs there, I need to cut. And if somebody says that, okay, why don't you sharpen that saw? He said, no, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. Let me cut. Now, why is he doing that? What will happen to his efficiency at the end of the day? He won't be effective, isn't it? Because he doesn't have time to sharpen the saw. Now, that's exactly what happens in most of the organization. We are too busy. We have got problems, we want to solve the problem. Go and solve the problem. Let's not spend time on training, no time on attending the meeting, discussing. No, we want to work, isn't it? Now, being busy and being productive, there is a big difference, isn't it? You can be busy. Whole day you can be busy. But being productive, you need to focus as a team, have an organized meeting, have an organized discussion session, and that is what is all about in Kaizen. So there is being busy, being productive. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, now let's develop some concept, yeah? Now, for example, in any organization, there is a raw material, then you add value, and we get finished goods, isn't it? Yeah, every organization. Most of the manufacturing. Suppose there is a potato manufacturing processing companies there who manufacture crisp, you know, potato crisp, yeah? So, suppose what is the price of potato currently? 50 shilling per kg maximum? 50, 100, whatever is it. Say
70 shilling.
70 shilling, okay. Let's say hypothetically it's 50 shilling per kg, okay. What is the packet of crisp which you get 100 gram? 25, 50 probably, yeah. No, I think 100 gram you don't get for 25, 50. 100 grams, yeah, the big one. Yeah. So it's around 300 shilling?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the reason? It means that 300 gram, 100 gram, 300 shilling means around 3000 shilling per kg. Isn't it? Why you are able to buy this at a higher price is because you are adding value. You are not selling potato, you are selling crisp, okay, which has got some value addition, isn't it? Now, what we call in Kaizen, any activity which changes physical or chemical properties in the desired direction of the customer, it is called as a value adding activity. Okay. When there is no change in physical or chemical properties of the raw material in the desired direction of customer, it is called as a non-value adding activity, and it is called as a muda. Muda is a wasteful activity. Muda in Japanese means wasteful activity. This is a very important concept. All of you should know this word called muda. What is muda? Wasteful activity. What is wasteful activity? Muda. What is wasteful activity? Muda. Now, let's see. Say potato crisp manufacturing company is there. These are the activities which are taking place roughly. Potatoes are received at the main gate. Then inspection of documents is done by the askari, isn't it? Yeah. Then truck moves from gate to receiving bay. Now tell me, when the inspection of document is done by askari, is there any change in physical or chemical properties of the raw material? No. So what is it? Muda is a wasteful activity, isn't it? Truck moves from gate to receiving bay. Is there any change in physical or chemical property? No. So what is it? Muda. Check quantity and quality. Is there a change in physical or chemical property? So what is it? Muda is a wasteful activity. You are sure? Checking quantity and quality, is it a wasteful activity?
Because there's no change in this thing property, then we're thinking.
Yeah, but is it a muda, is a wasteful activity or not?
Yes.
Yes. Are you sure? So we stopped doing checking quantity and quality. It's necessary. So you are saying wasteful activity is necessary. Wasteful but necessary. Oh my God. So are we here to do wasteful activities which are necessary? Is it necessary? Checking quantity and quality. Yes. And you are saying it's wasteful. And you are saying it's necessary. Okay, fine. Do you buy milk every day at your home? Yeah. You get a 500 ml packet, isn't it? Yeah. First thing, what you do after you open, you check whether the quantity is 500 ml or not. No? Why? You said that checking quality and quantity is very important, isn't it? So why don't you check it? No? Do you check? You check every day. You have got a 500 ml measure. You take it you buy from the market, supermarket. You open it and you check whether it is 500 ml or 520 ml.
No, when I buy from the market, I check the expiry date.
Expiry date is fine, but quantity, do you check the why? But you don't want to check at your home, but when it comes to company, you want to check. Why? Okay. What?
This is raw material.
That is also raw material for you, Benny.
No, I'm saying about checking.
So
the difference between consumer and producer. If you are producer, you have to check the quality.
come on, you can't do that.
No, but sir, if the milk is given to me by my milkman, then I check. Because even I will see to it that he uses a proper mug where it is 500 grams. But if I'm buying it from the showroom or the supermarket, since the standardized weights are there, I presume that it is past its quality check, and that's why.
Okay, fine. Now let's talk about quality. Okay, quality check necessary? We need to check all the raw material which you get in the factory. You must check the quality. Are you sure? You have to. Okay, fine. When you have you got TV at your home? TV? Yeah. When you bought your TV, first thing what you do, you open the cover, all the things you removed, and you check the quality of the soldering, isn't it? Why? But see, you say it's necessary to check the quality, isn't it? So why don't you do it? I mean, you people are not right one. When it's your TV, you don't want to check. Okay, when it is but milk you don't want to check, but when you come to factory you want to check. Why?
I think there's a cost implication.
Bana TV is very costly. You must check soldering. You must. It's extremely expensive. I have not seen this kind of expensive. I mean, you are buying once in lifetime, isn't it? I mean, okay. I mean, at least good TV, you want to use it for at least 5 to 10 years. You don't want to check quality. Come on. This is not fair. And that rubbish weight sawdust which is coming, you want to check the quality. And TV, you don't want to check quality. Why? Okay, so again, it's a paradigm, isn't it? When we say it's a factory, you need to do, it's been going on for so many years, we have to do it, period, finished, isn't it? But suppose, okay, if you make this system checking quantity and quality, again it's a paradigm. If you develop a system and you say that this is how it will be done, you can skip that, isn't it? So it's basically when we check that, we don't check 500 ml. Why? Because we trust the product. We trust the supplier, isn't it? When you buy Sony TV or any TV, Samsung TV, you trust the supplier. So same thing, if you trust the suppliers, there is no need to check quantity and quality. It's a muda. Basically, it's a muda. It's a wasteful activity. Unless, again, it's a paradigm shift. Unless you convince yourself it's a wasteful activity, you will not be able to eliminate. You will keep doing it. By doing that, you are not adding value. Now, what you have to think, how can you eliminate that wasteful activity or at least reduce time on that? Okay? So that is what is all about. Now, let's go to the other activity, unload. Is there any change in physical property? No. So it's a muda. Move to stores. When you are moving, shifting. Whenever you are shifting or moving, there is no change in physical or chemical property. It's a wasteful activity. It's a muda. Storage is the biggest muda, isn't it? It's a wasteful activity. It doesn't add a value. Then comes search for potato sacks. We spend so much of time searching for spares, searching for equipments, all of that, isn't it? Whenever you search, it's what? Muda. Okay? Load to trolley, move trolley to washing bay, unloading sacks. These are all non-value adding activities, isn't it? Waiting for supervisor and machine setting. When you are setting the machine, is it a value adding activity or is it a non-value adding activity? Or is it a muda or not? Muda. It's a muda, isn't it? So, whenever you are setting up machine, John and Patrick, you are doing wasteful activity, right? Yeah, it's the reality. Once you identify that as a wasteful activity, you will see how you can eliminate or reduce that, isn't it? Loading on the peeler, peeling. Now what you are doing? Is there any physical property or chemical property change? Yes. So after 13 non-value adding activity, you are doing first value adding activity, isn't it? And we say the customer is ready to pay you higher price, yeah, because you are adding value. We say raw material, you add value, and that is the reason finished good, and customer is ready to pay from 50 to 3,000 because you add value. And whole factory is busy in doing non-value adding activity, isn't it? Now that's the beauty of it. Now there is another concept called as the value adding ratio. What is that? Value adding time divided by throughput time. What is the value adding time? Peeling is how many seconds? Maybe 2-3 seconds. Frying and putting salt and these, maybe 5-10 seconds will be your value adding time. Package it. So all put together, so your 60 seconds is the value adding time. What is throughput time? It is called as a gate to gate time. Means suppose you tag one potato when it has arrived in the premises of the factory, write down date and time, and when it becomes a crisp and goes out of the factory, you write down date and time. That is called as the throughput time. So value adding, suppose in a normal, in any company, you will find within 30 days the potatoes will move from this thing to become a crisp and it will go out of factory because there is a lot of inventory and this and that, isn't it? So 30 days is your throughput time. So 30 days into 24 hours into 60 minutes into 60 seconds, if you do it, you will find 0.000024 is a value addition ratio. And 99.99% of the time is what? Muda. That's what exactly we do in our organization. 99.99% of the time, we don't do any value-adding activity. We are busy doing non-value-adding activity. A company like Toyota, their throughput, their value-adding ratio is around 70%. Can you imagine that? And they are the best, one of the best managed companies in the world. So even if you reduce it by 5%, 1 or 2%, 3%, there will be huge change. Okay? So what is our job in the organization now? To look for non-value adding activities. Sorry. Yeah. Shall I continue or? All right. Now, apart from Muda, there is a family of other bad elements. Okay? What is that? Mura and Muri. Mura is a younger brother to Muda. That is what? Inconsistency. You know, you will find in an organization, you will find lot of inconsistency. Sometimes you get very good quality of briquettes, next day you will get a complaint, it's a bad quality, isn't it? Inconsistency. That is Mura. And Muri is avoidable physical strain. You know, we keep busy shifting the material from here to there, loading, offloading, transferring, all of that with our unnecessary strain. That is called as Muri. So, when we say Kaizen, Kaizen is all about identifying, reducing or eliminating Muda, Mura and Muri in the organization. But one important thing, Kaizen doesn't believe in reduction of manpower. Never ever say that because of Kaizen, even if you are, our aim is to reduce the wasteful activity, not to reduce the manpower. If because you have eliminated wrong processes, never get rid of manpower. As a management, you must keep that in mind. Never reduce the manpower because of improvement in processes. Otherwise, people will not support you. Any worker, any person, whether it's in office or anywhere, he finds that my job is going to be at the stake because of improvements in the factory or in the organization. He will not do it, isn't it? So that assurance has to be given to the people that under any circumstances, we will not reduce the manpower whenever there is a need or when the improvement takes place and some wasteful activities have been eliminated. Okay, fine. These are different stories which are given in the book called in Kaizen, written by Masaki Imai. Okay, I'll give you, this is about ITC chairman when they implemented Kaizen. And he said, the chairman, he said, I keep one day in a week to go and visit the kiosk because I want to rely on the actual activity, the Gemba. Go to the Gemba and get the primary data and primary information. Why? Because generally if you get some information from the other people, you know, subordinate, it is always tuned. You know radio tuning? Yeah, you do beautiful tuning, isn't it? So that you want to listen what boss wants to hear, isn't it? If Dinesh wants to hear this, let's talk in that language so that he understands, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's a natural phenomena, every organization. So, what's the solution? Go to the Gemba and get primary data. He said some of his launches, Pauline, failed miserably because he relied on the information given by the team. And which is not the real data, which is the secondary data given by one person to second to third to this. So fine, you can have your own way of working the parameters, how to get the information, etc. But going to the Gemba and getting primary data, there is no other way but to get that, because that is what is going to give you the right decision. Okay, so what is the Gemba principle? 5 Gemba principle. Go to the Gemba in case of problem. When there is a problem in the market or when there is a problem, customer complaint is there, boiler is having smoke, don't sit in the office and try to solve the problem. Go to the Gemba, isn't it? In the market, go to the sale, in the field and find out. That's what the important thing is. Second step, check with Gembutsu. Gembutsu means real things, whatever things are happening. You know, behaving like a detective, start going there and start observing. Now, There is a very good story about, it's written by, again, Kaizen, is a book called Kaizen, written by Masaki Imai. There is a person called Taiichi Ono who has developed this concept of Toyota production system. And he was the probably guru, you know. So age-wise also he was very old. So what he did once, he called the CEO of Indonesia, Toyota, and he said, okay, you come for training. And he said, fine. When he came for training, as soon as he landed, he said, okay, you go to the factory floor. And then he drew a circle. He drew a circle and he said, you stand here, okay? And after 30 minutes, I will come and we'll talk. Till that time, you observe whatever things are happening here. And he went away. This fellow got mad. He said, I'm CEO. I'm supposed to do so many important things. Why am I asked to here stand here and start doing the observation? What sense does it make? He got fed up. He started writing something. He lost interest. And he said, anyway, I have to stand because somebody has called all the way from Indonesia. I have to do it. After 30 minutes, Taiichi Ono came and he said, okay, what were you observing? And he said, okay, this is how the machine was running and this and that. Then he said, okay, fine. He asked 30 questions. And he could not answer even 3 out of that. He said, when you are standing here, you are merely standing. You are not watching. You are not observing. There is a difference between looking at things and observing. Okay. So when we talk about to the game, when you go to the gemba, you must observe the things, look for abnormalities, look for problems, look for solutions. Whether you go to in the sales with the client, visit the market, visit to the customer's premises, or anywhere you go, you must do the observation, because that is what get the primary data and get the observation done. That is what we are looking at. Okay, that is one of the principles. And what is the principle of Kaizen? We say cleaning is the best way to do the improvements. Like for example, there is a factory. When the machine, you start cleaning yourself with your hand, you will find that, oh my God, this machine is leaking. There are so many places, nuts are not there, bolts are missing, nothing is there. So all that you will come to know when you start cleaning with your own hand. Cleaning is an amazing tool for observation. Okay? So, what is the go to the gemba? In case of problem, check with Gembutsu. Second, third is take temporary countermeasures on the spot. Don't wait for perfection. Okay? Take temporary countermeasures on the spot. Fourth is remove root cause. Keep asking why 5 times and you will go to the root of it. And then you will be able to fix the problem. Okay? Now, how do we have this why analysis? Okay? Now, for example, if there is an oil leakage in a machine, ask first what is the reason why there is oil leakage. Okay? Then somebody will say because the gasket is leaking. All right. Second is that why is gasket leaking? The answer you will get because the right size of the gasket is not available. Okay? Why right size of the gasket is not available? Because when it was leaking, it was not procured on time. Isn't it? Why it was not procured on time? Because there is no system of replenishment. A proper system of replenishment is not there. So what is the root cause for this leakage? The system of replenishment of the spares or the gasket is not in place, as a result of which there is a leakage. But what we do, if it is leaking, Bana, don't you know what is the problem? Go and buy it, isn't it? That's what we say. Rush! John makes a phone call to Ramzan. Ramzan goes there, brings boda, isn't it? Sometimes car also, I have brought it, see how efficient I am. Stop the leakage. Have you solved the problem? No. See, unless you work on this system of procurement, you develop Kanban inventory management system and talk about at what time, when it reaches this quantity, I will buy this much. So that you don't have to rush, isn't it? So focus on the root cause. And once the root cause has been identified, take and standardize on that. That is what it is. Once you have identified that this is to be procured every month, take the stock, whatever is the difference between maximum stock and the actual you replenish, that is what is standardizing. Okay? Good. So, another important principle, 5K, actually it is 5S in Japanese, Siri, Seto, Saiso, Shikitsu, and Shitsuke. Yeah. And in Kiswahili, Kuchagua, Kupanga, Kusafisha, Kudumisha, and Kufundisha. I'm expert in Swahili now. All right. Now, what is first K? First K is sort. Things which are required and not required. Okay. That is sorting out. Kuchagua, Kupanga, arrange, systematic arrangement. Arrange them properly. Okay, in systematic manner where you can retrieve that this thing. Third case, kusafisha, cleaning. All right. Then kudumisha, maintain, and kufundisha is train. Okay. Now, see, when you go to the Gemba, first you identify things which are required and things which are not required. Things which are not required, keep them here at one particular area called red tag area and take action on that. All right. Useless items not required should be thrown out. Don't keep the items which you don't need. There is always tendency, if I need it after some time, let me keep. We keep on piling up, as a result of which it becomes so difficult for us to, when we require, when we need, you don't find that. So eventually you buy, isn't it? So things which are required, things which are not required. Useful items that you do not need immediately, send it to the place where you can arrange them properly and you can retrieve them. Okay? Yeah, so this is how the things which were thrown outside. When you go to the factories, this is me, by the way, I was so slim. So don't think that this was, of course, 20 years ago. So when things which are not needed, throw them out. Because when we did the Kaizen workshop here, you will find that there was so much of material when the company was constructed 30 years ago, nobody wanted to take a decision. No, who is going to do? I don't want to know. As a result of it was cluttered. So first thing is that get rid of things which are not required. Sell them as a scrap even. So much of material has been identified which is not required. Okay. Now, okay, this was the director of Simba Plastics who was cleaning the machine. Basically, we teach everyone to clean the machine because that's the way to learn to look for the abnormalities. So, classify unwanted material. Totally unwanted material, throw it out. Needed but not here, bring it, send it to the place where they belong. Needed but not in this quantity. Needed but not, you classify that. Okay. Then kupanga, then arrange them properly, systematically. Okay. Frequently needed items should be kept next to the point of use. You keep your pen here, isn't it? Because it's frequently needed. Do you keep your degree certificate in the pocket and come every day? You don't need that, isn't it? So simple rule, keep the items which are needed, keep it next to point of use, especially in the factory. Machine, whatever it's the screws and the spanners and this and that, keep it next to point of use, isn't it? Okay, this is the arrangement of one of the machining tools and arrangement of that. I don't think you can read this. I don't ask Shruti, but you can't read that, isn't it? But you know what item is missing, isn't it? That's how the Gemba should be. Whatever items you need, organize them in such a manner that this adjustable plier is missing, this is missing, you can make out and you just keep it there. That is the place for it. That is the place for Allen keys. That is the place for other nuts and bolts. So make it visual. Make the Gemba as much visual as possible. Isn't it? By doing that, what happens? You look for some of the tools. You spend a lot of time searching for that, isn't it? And searching is what? Muda is a wasteful activity. Cleaning equipments, organize them properly. Now, these are the different oils which are needed in a factory. What has been done? See, generally you will find a drum, a container where you cannot see which oil is there, isn't it? You cannot make out. So what has been done? A transparent drums have been procured. They are arranged that properly. The names are written, shell 46, whatever is there. Some color coding has been given. Now the oil, when you use this same oil, wherever you are going to use it on the machine, you mark that also with the same color code. so that you know this is the oil to be put there. There is no question of mixing, isn't it? Otherwise, he gave me, the drum was like that, all the stories. So what you are doing, making system, like this is a red and this is green. It's not black, it's green. So when it reaches red level, this is a Kanban card, you will go to the procurement department, they will buy the material, buy the oil, replenish it, and it goes. Isn't it? It's an automatic replenishment system. Now, time has been spent on this. It is not put on the floor so that you can make cleaning arrangement and all. Frequently needed items, keep them at the top, which is easy to remove. Isn't it? Now, this is a simple thing. With this exactly what we want to do in Kaizen. Focus on creating the system, as a result of which you don't spend time in doing the activity. You take more time for doing that activity, but if you are more organized and you focus on system, you will have a good time, isn't it? For example, in our office, if you see, in our earlier offices which was there at Kipro Center, none of the tables had a drawer, because in drawers actually you think, what are you doing? You are dumping. Honestly, you dump. Open your drawer and check. You will find you have got lipstick, hairpin, all sides of stapler pin, punching machine. I mean, you require things which are required, not required, isn't it? So why, if you open this, you will find that you will have plenty of things which are not required here. Any cupboard is a dump yard. So generally when we say, people used to say, oh my God, this container, this is a very good cupboard, it costed me so many things, so many 20,000, 50,000 shilling. I said, it's better you give it to your competitor, let them dump. The more they dump, they will increase their inventory. They will have more problems. Release your things and do not keep things which are not required. Okay? And invariably, things which you cannot see, you will find they are dumped and they are not adding any value. Like if you see our filing system, it's open, transparent, isn't it? Who has spent time? 10 years ago we spent, or 5 years ago we spent time in making these racks, isn't it? But still the system is going on. Nobody is dumping there because there is no space for dumping. It's been made for the requirement to keep the files and nothing else can be done. So when you have created that system, there is a huge space available here. Now in the normal running organization, to get these files, they will have 1 or 2 rooms. And then they will say, I don't have space. We have utilized this space effectively by doing this racking system, isn't it? So, I mean, spend time on creating the system, and that is how you are going to increase your efficiency. Mold setting trolley. Whenever you are setting up, go with the tools which you need and make use of that. You'll reduce your searching time, movement time. Now, can you see this Gemba? How they are organized? Whatever items are there, the mold is there, the one which they manufacture, it's kept on that. Because many times what happens, the product is having a problem. When they ask, what is the problem, show me the sample, they don't get the sample. But here you have kept it on the mold. So if this Gemba is organized like this, the chances of producing bad quality are definitely lower than the unorganized Gemba. Do you agree or not? Isn't it? So spend time and energy on organizing the Gemba. Now look at the way things are. Marked, everything neatly, organized. That's what should be there. John, Patrick, at our factory, this is what we expect. In the boiler sites, at solar sites, we want things to be organized in this manner. That is what is going to increase your efficiency. Now, look at the way everything is organized. Everything is marked properly. If the motors are there, specifications are written. If pumps are there, specifications are written. So that in case you need something, you don't spend time on looking for pump. Oh, this fellow has sent me wrong pump. Oh, is it? Send another person. Boda, go, buy. Why? Because we don't have system, isn't it? So spend time on creating system, visual system. This is one of the company called Shelley's Pharmaceutical, long time back. They used to keep the spares in the plastic polythene bag. Do you know what is the reason? Because they said ki as per their pharmaceutical norms, all the spares should not be exposed to atmosphere, which was rubbish, but that was their principle. Okay. Because it was non-transparent sheets were there, they do not know what is inside. As a result of which their inventory increased 5 times. Because when they need it, they don't find it. Instead of buying 1, they will procure 5. Use 1, balance 4 they will keep. They will keep in a non-transparent sheet. When they need after 6 months, you don't get, again you buy. Isn't it? So, creating right system is extremely important. Good. Now look at this arrangement which is there. Whatever the compartments have been made as per your requirement. You may have a lot of inventory, but you make arrangement as per your requirement and keep that particular item, that when you know that this is the item which will be kept here, this is a green zone, this is a red zone. When you finish green zone and you pick up one item from red zone, you take this Kanban card and place the order. Isn't it? So that is the Kanban card inventory management system. So what are you doing? You are making your system takes care of it. You don't have to struggle for creating and going out of stock. All those problems will go. Okay, these are the different pictures. Yeah. Look at the way washers, 10 mm, 8 mm. So whatever you need, it is classified properly and kept neatly. If you have got this kind of Gemba, you cannot have over stock of spares. You cannot have understock, as a result of which you keep struggling. Now look at the way the mess is there for electrical wiring. If you have got this kind of system, you will always have a problem, isn't it? Anyway, these are autonomous maintenance boards, etc. So we'll skip that. Okay. Okay, these are the office, the way it's been done at one of the, this is how the earlier system was there. Then the team worked on it, got rid of all the unnecessary items, made the new racking system, and eventually it became a good way of working, isn't it? I mean, you can have the way we have done it, this has been done, and again the lines are there so that you can make out which one is missing in case it is not in its place. This is called as PEEP, place for everything and everything in its place. Then cleaning with meaning, cleaning with inspection. Whenever you are doing cleaning, you presume that you are inspecting. Then only you will get the result out of that. Okay, I think then set standard to be followed by all. Suppose in a factory, generally what happens? There are 100 people, workers come there. There are 1 or 2 sweepers who do the sweeping. So what happens? 100 people make the factory dirty. 2 people do the cleaning. Who is going to win? 100, isn't it? And that's the reason all the time the factory is going to be dirty. But if all 100 for 10 minutes they stop the work and they do the cleaning and they are allocated the areas and they are responsible for this, what will happen? Isn't it? The whole factory will remain clean all the time. Isn't it? So that's what it's all about. It's all about teamwork. Spend 15 minutes every day on COT, cleaning, oiling, tightening. Stop the machine, do that. And that's what we have been following, isn't it? We need to do that. And that's the only way your breakdowns will get reduced. Mark each and everything like rotation, direction of rotation. At one factory, one of the factories I went there, the motor was rotating. Instead of sucking, it was throwing, and the whole, it was the powder was, I mean, it was a pharmaceutical company. It was full of powder, and nobody was ready because no marking. Pressure gauges, they have to be marked. Oil tank, what is the drill size? Everything you need to write. Let the Gemba speak, so that nobody has to struggle and look for that. If there is an oiling point, grease, oil daily, oil weekly, oil monthly, write it down, display there. Okay. Then there is called as a PDCA and SDCA. This is a very, very important concept called as a PDCA. What is PDCA? Plan, do, check and act. PDCA. Okay. So every day, first thing in the morning, before you do start your work, spend time for 5 minutes to 10 minutes on planning the day. Spend time on planning, because that is the key. What we want to do, we want to start the work immediately. That's sorry, that is the problem. Don't do anything. In the morning when you come, just sit quietly and plan for the day. What are the things to be done? That's it. Write it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what happens when you plan it, you become so powerful. You want to attend the meeting. Okay, you want to go and see the client. It's fine. What are we going to do? What are we going to talk to them? What are the problems he's going to ask? What solutions are we going to give it? You have already thought about it. And when you have thought about it, you know the solutions, you become so powerful. That shows the confidence. But what is the reason? Because you have planned properly. But what we say, I don't have time. I can't plan. I'm not like him. That fellow has got a lot of time. I don't have time. I'm a very busy person. Wrong. Spend time on doing planning. PDCA, extremely important. And once you standardize, once you have established a system, then go for SDCA, that is standardize, do, check and act. Once you are, say for example, the procurement system, we are haphazardly, then we say no, we will have to do it in standard manner. Every week we will, or every month we will buy, of the first of the month, whatever has been consumed, we will replenish. Then you standardize that system by making the racking system, etc. And it becomes way of working. So manager's job, John, is to identify the things which are not happening properly and create a system, standardize, and then it will continue. Okay. Now this is called as a maintenance pyramid. American Association for Safety and Health, they revealed that behind every fatal accident, there are 30 near misses and 300 unsafe actions. We say one fatal means it's destiny, bana. What can we do? It's God. It's not God, isn't it? You are responsible. There are 30 times there is a near miss situation. When you are driving, you just missed it, isn't it? You are about to hit, you didn't hit. Near miss situation. Okay. Unsafe action, 300 unsafe action means if the signal is red, police is not there, let me rush. Isn't it? The police is not there. That is wrong. It's an unsafe action. Isn't it? So this is the way. So same thing happens with the machine. When there is a machine breakdown, there are 13 near misses, 300 unsafe action. We don't ignore the thing. Machine speaks. It will start vibrating. It will giving extra noise. But we are not in position to check that, take that signal, as a result of which machine breaks down, and then we go and rectify. So if you have got a system of identifying those signals, you will not have any problems. All right. Now let's talk about it. Suppose you go to a 5-star hotel and you want to throw something on the floor. Will you throw it? You will never, isn't it? You will look for a dustbin. Yeah. If you go to City Council loo and it's full of dirt and mess and this and that, and if you want to something, throw it on the floor, will you throw it? Yes. Because it's so messy, you don't mind it making it further dirty. So when the Gemba is neat, clean, organized, you will always find that you will take efforts to maintain that. But if it is in a mess, you will continue doing that. You will be part of that. So spend time and energy on organizing your Gemba. Okay? Okay, these are the examples of 1-point lesson, wrong way of doing it, right way of doing it. Pauline, that is what we want to do at every place. Write do's and don'ts. Talk about the problems, issues, why analysis. Display. Okay, make factory. Factory should look like a training room, full of information, learning lessons. You know, that is how, because you cannot spend time for everybody. It's a reminder. And don't think that, oh, he's been there. It's a reminder. It's a good Gemba will be an excellent training room. Okay, people, that culture, that vibes will be there, which will be absorbed by the right kind of information. All right, so when you do this exercise, you will find that 15 to 20% of the time in our life, in professional career, is a search time. Okay, so if you work for say 300 days, 15% is 45 days we are spending on what? Searching. isn't it? I mean, okay, you do not realize that, but that's the reality. So create system which will help you to reduce the search time. Okay? Divide the whole factory, whole office into different zones. Like for example, the outside garden is one person who is the responsible as a promoter. He is responsible for that particular activity. Like for example, if you talk about this block, one person is the responsible, he is a promoter. His responsibility that everything is organized. Each zone should be given, and you display the name of the person, put a photo there, isn't it? That person takes the responsibility. As a result of which nobody is overburdened, but at the same time systems are being followed. Yeah? So divide the whole factory into different zones. Each zone gives the name of the person as a promoter, display his name, put his photo. Every day stop the machine for 15 minutes in every shift. Spend time on cleaning, oiling, tightening. Prepare ticking the checklist daily, weekly, monthly. Spend time on this. You will not have problems of breakdowns, isn't it? Okay, so this is all about, if you see the root cause for all breakdowns, either it is not cleaned on properly, oiled or not tightened. That's the real thing. So that is the reason COT is extremely important. Okay, so I think I will give you, we are coming to the end of the session. There is a very interesting example called as the boiling frog syndrome. I don't know how many of you heard about it. It's very interesting. There was one exercise done by a very famous scientist. What he did, he took a big container, okay, he put a water and he put a frog inside that huge container, open, and the frog was very happy. The temperature was room temperature. He was roaming here, there. The scientist decided that every 30 minutes he will increase the temperature by 5 degrees centigrade. When it was increased from 15 to 20, no problems. Frog was moving, no issues. Okay. After half an hour to 25 degrees centigrade. Then the movements were normal. Frog was not affected. It was going on. Again, after half an hour, from 30 to 35 degrees centigrade, now the frog was getting uncomfortable. You know, he didn't have, his movements were very slow. He was not able to move quickly. When it increased from 35 to 40, his body was completely numb, couldn't move at all. And when it increased from 40 to 45, frog was dead. Now, if this temperature would have increased from 15 to 45 at one stroke, he has got all the energy to jump from and go out. But it was done gradually. It didn't have that energy. And that's how one of the management scientists, he said that is what applies with the companies who do not change. When the changes are there small, we don't take action. We said, okay, fine, loss is there. We are taking action. We are okay. A stage comes when you cannot come out of it, and that's how you die, isn't it, as a company, as an organization. So you need to improve continuously. Don't wait for that thing to happen. You have to focus on continual improvement day in, day out. Have you understood? And that's what Kaizen is all about. So focus on your continual improvement activities. Okay, when I was in Tanzania and I was doing consultancy, that is the reason time I said, I know what are the reasons people are going to talk, why it's not going to work. You know, the first reason is this is Tanzania and not Japan. That's the reason it's not going to work. All right. And then I am senior, you know, I can understand, but these junior people, they don't understand. That's the reason it's not going to work. And then the competence level here is very low. I mean, all sorts of reasons. In fact, when you go to a big company, they say this can work for a small company because they are very small, compact, very few people, they can be trained fast. When you go to small companies, work for big because they have got a big budget. So many people, they have got excess manpower. It's not small, it's not big, it's the attitude. If your attitude towards Kaizen and implementation and the improvement is positive, it's going to work. So irrespective of small company, big company, this industry, that industry, pharmaceutical industry feel that it cannot work for them because they have got different way of working. Nothing. It's basically shifting of paradigm, focusing on continual improvement activity. So that's all about Kaizen. So our pledge, and that's the end of our session. Any questions?